Alright, I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the Nasdaq for the upcoming week. So, the fundamental data is showing that we're mostly neutral on the Nasdaq, and the COT data, the institutions, they're positioned at mostly 50-50, not overly long or short. And the options levels are pretty scattered about, as you can see. We've got high exposure here at 28,725, 525, 325, and 125. So come Monday, I'm probably going to be looking to just trade this New York range. We can see on Friday the New York positioning is basically balanced. They're not overly long or short, but we did close near the low of the day. So I'm leaning more towards the short side just due to the market trading lower overall, but I would not be expecting anything too big. So I would be looking first on Monday, probably to trade up towards this volume node right here and seeing if we can sell and break past around 325. If we can extend past here, I'm going to be targeting 125 down there. So my first trade, I'm going to be looking for absorption up here at around the 400s to 450s, looking for sellers to absorb all the buyers and then aggressively step in, taking it down to around 325. And then if I'm so inclined, if the sellers are very aggressive, I'd hold runners, looking to see if we can transact down to 125. Now, one thing to note is if we were actually to break past this level, there's not much holding the market up down here. So I would, at this point, if we're breaking down below here, I'm only looking for sells and continuation sells. And the market could get real ugly, really volatile to the downside. So now you're probably just looking at key levels such as 28,000, and then probably 100 point increments, 900, 800 after that. Now, if price were to go higher and reclaim up above this volume node, now I would start to look to take longs, simply back up to around the 500s, 525s, back up to New York POC, and that's about it really. If we were to start consolidating around here, transacting a lot of volume, and just slowly grinding higher, I wouldn't be surprised if we actually make it all the way back up to around this high volume node here, which is a high volume node for Globex. And if you notice to the left, we're holding underneath this volume node right here. So I wouldn't be surprised to see 28,700s be traded and retested before Nasdaq takes a larger move to the downside. We got some levels up here, but we'll deal with that as the week comes. All right. I'll see you guys next week on the live streams, and happy trading.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Simon here from the Flow Trading Academy, and this is your week commencing the 27th of July 2026. This is your look ahead. So just looking at gold at the moment, I'm just on the higher time frame, so I'm starting off actually on the daily chart, looking at TradingView. And you can see here, guys, we talked about every single week so far we're in this downtrend, really obvious downtrend on gold. We have been since the start of the year. So when the yearly candle opened up, we've been extremely bearish. For me, at least on gold, is that we're just starting, for the first time this year, we're just starting to get this sort of period of consolidation here, just about here at the lows. And what's even more interesting, I think Wolf's talked about it before, is that I know in here, let's get rid of that, from the end of October, we actually had huge order flow activity, probably the largest amount of orders that there's ever been on gold at this area, which caused this huge spike to the upside. Now, what's interesting is that we are starting to revisit this area just here, and we're still failing to break below it. If we do break below it, then I expect much more downside movement. But for the moment, guys, it just looks like we're consolidating here. So it'd be really interesting to see that potentially buys could be in play this week. But there's one thing to keep an eye on, guys, that this area here on spot at the, I'll give you the price, at the 39.25s level is holding quite strongly. You can see that we're just consolidating here. We have been doing so for a couple of weeks now on gold, so something just to keep in mind. Let's go to the footprint chart. As we're intraday traders, we're obviously looking for the short-term moves. Just looking at the footprint now at the 40.55s on gold, we are holding that area as support. This area was born out of large order flow activity here. See 106 contracts in a bid there. And if we just move our way along now, we can see even more trapped sellers. We can see more offers on the bid. And as you just keep scrolling along that key level there, is that you can see here, just as the market was closing, we have 107 hitting the ask. So potentially on gold, when market opens, depending on how market opens, we could see, particularly now as we're finding this area of support, we could see something like this. So move to the upside, guys. This could be the first trade of the week, looking like something like that, potentially going back to retest the highs, potentially. But this all depends if that 55 level does hold, which it looks like it's doing. You know, we can see here we've had a failure to break. I'll change that color. Failure to break just there. Close back inside. Again, another failure to break, and we close back inside there. So if that level holds, guys, we're very much interested in potential buys, retesting the highs at around the 40.75s on futures. So that's one trade, or potentially the second trade I'm going to be looking for on the Monday open is actually, if we continue to the downside, potential buys from the 40.30 and 40.20s and the 4,000s on futures as well. Look at the buys down there. The ideal buys are going to be the 3900 levels, purely because, as I said before, I'm really interested in this area down here. Go back to the daily chart for you guys. Very much interested in this level, simply because we know there's so much aggressive and passive buying at this level down here. It's almost like a daily support that formed on gold in October of 2025. We've retested it multiple times now, guys. So very interesting to see if we retest it again, whether we continue to the upside. So the overall trend is obviously still bearish. So bearish sells are going to be the optimum trade. However, we are starting to bottom out on gold. If for whatever reason we do break the 3960s, 3900 levels, then we can expect a much lower move. However, just be cautious that this area is holding, so potential got to be more buys in play than sells moving into next week. What I will be doing is checking out Wall's fundamental analysis that he releases every single week, and I'll be looking at that and then see what that tells us. But buys could be a really good trade this week, guys, unless we start to break down to the 3900 levels. Still looking for buys down there, but if we do open and go straight up, then sells could be in play from the 40.80s. Took some really good trades off there earlier this week. So again, just retesting that level there as we did on Friday evening, similar to what we did as well earlier in the week. Or if we continue going up to the 41.20s or even the 41.50s, which has always been a great area to sell from, the 41.55s. In fact, if we look on book maps, so there's the 40.80s, huge trap buyers up there. So could be some really good sales up there, guys, for you. Or potentially, if we want to go even higher, yeah, just going into the 41.50s again. This is such a key area to short from, guys, as well. So those are the key levels that I will be looking at on gold. Just to recap, guys, 40.55s, potential moves to the upside if we fail to break those. If we do keep coming down then it'll be the 3900s that we'll be looking for buys. Key level from October 25. So we know that that level is going to be really strong and potentially could hold for a long-term move to the upside. Okay, guys, that's the weekly analysis on gold and GC. Have a great week and look forward to seeing you in the trading room in the Discord. Take care, guys.